like we've been doing, we are going to now go into episode 48 of Chris's Fourth and Long.
Oh, here we go.
On a fourth and
This has been, again,
fourth
a lot
down
of fun,
20.
especially with Flynn being here
not the way
week.
you want to try to extend
But Chris, what do you have for us this week, Fourth and Long?
Well, speaking of that, I just love hearing the NFL sounds because it's
Next
coming, right,
Thursday.
Dylan?
We
It's
have
coming.
an
First
NFL game next Thursday. I don't care if it's
not a
going
real
to
game.
start
Come
from the
on.
snap of the game. There will be third stringers in, and I'm going to watch all four quarters.
Who's playing again?
The Lions and the Chargers.
That's what I thought, because the
Lions
Chargers
and the
started
Chargers.
like a week early with.
They normally pick teams that had players that made the Hall of Fame this year, but I'm really blanking on which Lion and Charger made the Hall of Fame this year. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, I am so excited. Next Thursday, I think probably the first time ever we've had an NFL game in July. I think July 31st. I'd have to look that up too, but I'm so excited. I
remember
cannot.
It is very close.
Okay,
We're
so
back.
here we go. Let's get this started. So let's change it up a little bit. I want to talk college football just for a sec. Notre Dame. You want to feel old? Check this out. Jerome Bettis.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald. Plexico Burris. They all have sons on Notre Dame's current roster that all play wide receiver.
Yeah.
Talk about making you feel old when you hear names like that, and their kids are now playing for Notre Dame. There's grandsons of Hall of Famers out there. Look, with their roster and their pedigree, where do you think they finish this year compared to seasons past?
They'll be at the top because they have a shit schedule.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not in a conference.
They don't play anybody
so
ever.
they'll probably be in the playoff again.
Yeah, let's take a look at their schedule just because this is always fun.
Yeah,
I enjoy this.
They're not a
to
conference.
answer your question though of
It's a
having players that we grew up with, I'd say on the back half of their career when we were watching them, like you got to watch,
I watched
Jerome
all those
Bettis in
guys.
their prime.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Larry Fitzgerald a little bit towards our
Us.
generation.
Yeah.
But for them to now have kids on a college roster
That are probably going
that
to
are
play.
probably
going to
play. I mean, we saw it with
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen it across the league
plenty
now
times.
to where it's like, wow. Even Arch Manning and Peyton
Yeah.
Manning and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
Peyton
is
Manning's son, did you see? So actually, I'm sorry to change the subject, but Peyton Manning's son just committed to a school in Tennessee. So he's following the footsteps. We're getting another Manning here.
it is pretty cool. I think when you look at it, this is what makes sports so cool.
Yeah.
And
It's a family business.
You can say, oh well, if it wasn't for his last name, he probably people will have those arguments out there, especially with like the Archie Manning and the only reason he was as popular as he was and gets all the attention is because of his last name.
I'll
Which
take it
you're right
yeah.
to an extent.
I'll take it a step further though. He wouldn't be as good as he was without the last name.
I agree.
The genetics are a part of. So it's like no
that-
shit.
Well, that yeah, you
That
all
and,
is all part
and
of
the
it.
knowledge that he's just been able to
Yeah.
consume over all the years of playing high school.
I'm not going to
everything.
discredit anything that these younger
Yeah.
kids are doing. Like, it's
So is
cool.
it DNA?
I like it.
Is it their DNA, or is it the way they were trained, the attitudes, the
Everything.
things they were taught?
a little bit of everything.
Environment, how they were brought up, their work ethic, what they were taught. It's all of it is together.
So to answer that, the first part of your question, I think it's pretty cool that you are having a lot. Like it's not just one or two. Like it's now becoming a handful of guys to where it's like, wow, I'm old. That's
It
pretty
does
cool.
start to make you realize the clock just keeps going.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm looking at Notre Dame's schedule, and I heard that it was tougher this year, and I just they open up against Miami. Ooh, Carson Beck, scary. And then they play Texas A&M. Okay, better SEC team. But then Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State.
Hey,
And
Arkansas
then
could be a tough one too.
Arkansas. So I like their quarterback. I forgot they had a freshman quarterback last year that actually was pretty decent. But all the other teams, and then USC is tough.
Maybe you never
Boston
know with USC.
College, Navy, Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Stanford.
Maybe what it's going to take for
Really?
Notre Dame to ever join a
That's-
conference, though, will be for them to not
this
Bring him
is,
to
to
the
lose
SEC.
like 5
but
games.
this is the argument though. Why?
Yeah, why would
What's
they?
the point?
There
you
is
get
no
to
point.
you get to pick a schedule and basically make the playoffs every year now.
And they make less money if they're in a
guess,
conference.
yeah.
So
12
to
team,
me, unless they look at them and
There
go,
is no reason.
You have to join a
have to
conference.
join a conference, they're not going to.
Because they're only, there's like a Lafayette school that I'm forgetting, and then UConn is an independent. I think those are the only three. And then obviously,
I think there too, speaking of Notre Dame, I think there's a new show out or some new documentary where they followed Notre Dame because I saw it on some of my social media where There's people that are now becoming Notre Dame fans, like they can do. They bring the audience in.
I like Marcus Freeman. I don't hate their head coach. I think he's a great head coach.
No, I do too.
It should be fun.
But yeah, until the NCAA looks at them and goes, "You have to,"
they're not gonna.
Well, guys, we're weeks away from the college football season.
Yeah,
starting.
that starts like the last week of August.
New subject here. Next question. So I want to bring it back to Scottie Scheffler for a minute. So Scottie Scheffler,
Free Scotty.
Yes. Okay. Let me just say that what he's doing compared to what Tiger Woods did, you guys are seeing the Tiger Woods of your generation.
Pretty cool.
This is the way when Tiger stepped into a tournament, you knew he was going to win. Like he won so many times. He made all the shots, and Scottie made it seem easy the other day. I just want to go back though to prior to the tournament starting when he said the things that he said. To me, it really rubbed me the wrong way when I heard him say, "I'm not here to inspire the next generation.
Yeah,
I'm not here to inspire, a kid."
Yep.
And I want to just throw this back at you guys.
What about your
I
kid?
feel like a sponsor wouldn't necessarily 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Maybe his comments were taken out of context. He didn't clarify what he was really saying. I wished he would have said, "Hey, being a father, being a parent, these things, are way more important than sports."
Yeah.
Although he didn't say that. He just said, "I'm not here to inspire."
Well, I've seen Scottie's interviews, and so I will not give him the benefit of the doubt. He said it exactly how he wanted to. That man is incredibly well-spoken, so he has thought about that answer before. That's exactly how he meant it.
So that's a good point.
And so it's like, that's just who he is. He does not care to be a role model for other
if
people.
you're a golf company, though, that are paying this guy millions of dollars.
So I don't think it has anything to do with sponsors. I really don't think they give a flying. I don't.
Well,
I don't
did you
think
see
they
the
care.
Nike
They're gonna
ad that
sponsor
went
the
out?
best
Well, okay, so
everyone.
hold on though. The Nike ad, to me, I'm cool with the Nike ad.
I like the
because
Nike ad.
This is why I like the Nike ad, because the past couple years, Nike has kind of gone down a whole go woke, go broke with some of the ads and some of the stuff they've done. So to me, by Nike now almost highlighting
family,
you're a father, you're a family.
Family man.
I think it's kind of one of those things to where they subtly are like, "We know we messed up. We know we made some mistakes. We're sorry. Here you go." So I don't care about that. I like that.
They're going to sponsor the best golfer in the world anyways.
Yeah, that too. I don't think. I mean, unless he came
He
out
could do
and
whatever
did
the
some
fuck he wanted.
diabolical shit, he's
He
gonna
could
be
take
their
a
sponsor.
shit on the 18th hole at the Masters, and I think there would still be someone out there that'd be like, "Hey,
listen,
Scotty, you
Hold
want
on,
to do this
and look
TV
at
spot?"
Tiger too. I mean, Tiger was sponsored by Nike for all those years of all the stuff he went
Plenty
through.
of controversy with Tiger. Yeah.
So you're telling me that just because he says in an interview that he's not inspired that they're so. To me, it's not about the sponsors. To me, it's about, I took a little bit growing up. I think everyone in sports is the one thing that can glue, I think, everyone.
Yep.
When it comes to wanting to be like someone, wanting to grow up like someone, having a role model, wearing a jersey, no matter what sport it is. And growing up, me, I was a Tom Brady fan. I was a Travis Pastrana fan with X Games and, stuff like that. I can go down the list.
Yep.
So for someone like Scottie, who is number one in the world, wins all these tournaments, sponsored by the biggest sports company brand in the world, and you want to sit there and say, "Yeah, it's not my job to inspire the next generation of the sport that I'm so good at."
My question for him is, who inspired you to play golf?
That's what I wanted to say. I want to be like, you're missing this point right now.
He is missing the point.
Like, you can sit here and say, yes, I enjoy my family more than I do winning golf tournaments now. Great.
Nothing wrong with that.
Cool.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that because you have a kid now. You've had some more perspective on what life is about. Awesome. But don't sit here and tell kids and people watching you.
I don't care about
I
you.
really
I'm
don't
here for
care
myself and my family.
what I'm doing for you. I'm only here for myself. I show up to golf tournaments. I'm so good. I win them all. And then I just
It's not my fault.
I get to fly home on my private jet with my wife and my kid and go hang out with my family at a really nice 5-star fancy restaurant in my $1 million mansion that's gay community. Like, so to me, have a little bit of like awareness of how good your life is because you have worked so hard to be good at this game.
Because someone inspired you to play golf.
Exactly.
Because somebody lit that flame in your brain. It didn't just happen. You didn't just see something on TV. I mean, maybe you did, but I would like to assume that this was a long process to becoming the best golfer in the world. That doesn't just happen overnight.
Yes.
Like this is you are obsessed. And so it's.
Well, and I think too that you almost have a responsibility, and maybe you don't like the responsibility, but you have a responsibility when you are being given millions and millions of dollars by companies.
Yep.
You're out there representing a sport, representing yourself.
Yeah.
I'm all about being a family man. You know that. That's the most important thing. But maybe certain things you just don't say publicly.
Yeah.
So
It can be implied. Like I'm sure we all were aware already that Scottie 100%
everybody
values his family probably over most things in his world. There's no need to like double down on it.
Well, and I'll give you a question. Say Patrick Mahomes came out tomorrow in a press conference after one of their training camp practices and said, "Yeah, I'm just really here for myself. I got 3 kids now. I've got all this money tied into all these the Kansas City Royals and the Kansas City women's soccer team of that I've invested in." But, I
would say it's different because football's a team sport.
But how would the world and internet react if Mahomes or Josh Allen or someone along those lines came out and said kind of the similar things to what Scottie said?
I honestly think the bigger issue would be their teammates. Like, I think the locker room would, regardless of who you are, if Mahomes came out and said that, they may not go public. I'm sure, media just today would make a huge deal out of it. But if any football player were to say that, I mean, that's a conversation that gets had behind closed doors. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a better one for you, Dawson. Let me ask you this. So, okay, Tom Brady going into his last Super Bowl when he, went down to Tampa, right? Took that team first year to the Super Bowl. What if on Super Bowl Sunday morning, he's in the locker room, he looks at all the guys, said, "Hey guys, you know what? I really don't care if we win this game. I mean, we got here. I've been here before. I got all these rings. So, hey, whatever happens, happens."
Wow.
Yeah, I know it's hypotheticals, and I know I would be. Dylan makes a good point. Dylan makes a good point to where it is a team game, and that would cause more uproar because it's like you need another 50 however many guys to help you win that game.
It'd have to be like a tennis player, like Roger Federer.
Yeah, so maybe my example of that was a little bad because it is a team game versus an individual, but it's the same kind of principle if Tom Brady walked in, everyone would be like,
"Yeah, what the fuck?
What the fuck? What do you mean?"
So, okay,
here's my prediction. Tom?
Okay, mark this down. We'll come back in 10 years and look at this. See, golfers go through a couple of spans where they really win a lot, okay? And usually it only happens a few times. That's why when Nicholas won when he was 45 years old at the Masters, it was like, wow,
Tiger
unbelievable. Or Tiger in 19 when he came back and did that. And so when you look at what these guys do in their careers, there's only so much time to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a prediction that Scottie won't even come close to the number of times that Tiger won because he's not selfish like Tiger was. Tiger was very selfish.
Yeah.
That's why he was able to do it. I don't think Scottie will get there simply because of his mindset and because he said it in his own words. Yeah. I don't really care.
But he's the type of guy, I bet Scottie, like if he wins a Grand Slam next year, he's already thinking about retirement. Like guarantee it. He wants to be in his son's life before he can talk.
The thing though, for me, it's just like, it's just kind of confusing. Like you've almost spoiled yourself because of how many times you have won.
Yep.
Where you've, like, it's going to take a stretch for him to not win to go, wow, like
I
forgot how special this really is to win and
but
be.
But will it ever come?
And that's kind of, but even like, Tom Brady to where he had the 2000, 2002, 2003, 2004 to where he was kind of in, and then all of a sudden
he went 10 years
he had 10 years without one, and it was like that. The one after the 10 years was his favorite one because he forgot. He spoiled himself when he was so young.
Yeah.
To kind of forgot how special and how
Seattle
rare
one,
that
right?
is. Yeah.
It was Seattle. Okay, yeah. Yes.
So I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways you can take it. I don't think his delivery was the best.
No, but it was thought out. He definitely.
You make a good point there to where he is. I mean, he's very well spoken. There's no way that was just off the top of his head because he wanted to talk about it.
Hell no.
It's interesting. Do I still love Scottie? Yes, he's a great person. He resembles a lot of things that I think we are missing in today's world of being a dad and being there for your family. So I love that about him. I always have. The delivery for me just wasn't the best when it came to, I'm not here to inspire.
No, 100%. I genuinely think Scottie could be one of those golfers. Like I said, he's just got the third leg of his Grand Slam. He can win it next year. I think he's one of those guys that maybe just rides off into the sunset before we even know it. He's gone as quick as he came.
Let me tell you though,
the last tournament he should have won.
He was so because we were like we're crazy to think that he was very close. If he would have played in
just had one
the
bad
one
card,
where
right?
everyone the winner was like -1 or only one under par.
Yeah.
If he even played half of the game that he normally plays at that course, he wins. And then all of a sudden he wins the Grand Slam. And
God,
when
That's how finicky
The
golf
U.S.
is.
Open.
Yeah.
The U.S. Open.
Yeah.
At Oakmont.
Yeah. Okay. So
crazy.
let's get back to another question. Let's go back to the NFL. So what do you think the J.J. Watt signing means for
TJ Watt?
players?
TJ Watt.
Or T.J. Watt. Yeah. Like you can give him his brother credit, right? His older brother. So what do you think that signing means for players like Micah Parsons? Okay, and the Cowboys. So Jerry Jones has screwed up again.
You saw this, right? Yeah.
So Jerry Jones had let him play his 5th year on his rookie contract, which means he's unrestricted free agent after this next season.
Did you see the comments he made a few days ago?
The even funnier part to what you're bringing up is the comments that he made. Was it like yesterday?
Honestly, I'll pull this clip up. Let's play it real quick. We can listen to Jerry himself call out 2 of his best players on the team.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
So do you think it's a good idea after just having paid your quarterback, like $60 million a year, to then pivot to the guy that you're also going to have to make the highest paid non-quarterback and say that, I think along the lines of, it doesn't matter how much we pay them because we don't have them all the time. And then he, mentioned Micah Parsons missing 6 games
Dak
last year.
Prescott missing games.
Yeah, Dak Prescott missing games right after he paid him. It's like, yeah, Jerry, cool, you got buyer's remorse, but it's like you're not really in a position to do otherwise. It's you drafted Micah Parsons. You have not paid him since, there have been like 3 or 4 monster deals out of Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and then another pass rusher that I'm blanking on.
All older.
So do you think he'll use
Price
this as
tag
his
is just
escape
going
plan
up
to get out of Dallas? Because he can play this one more year and then he's gone.
Yeah.
Someone's going to pay
so.
him a bloody fortune.
Well, that and
Hopefully it's the Bears.
Jerry had all the opportunity to pay him before the Myles Garrett, before the TJ Watt, before even Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
And now Trey Hendrickson
He's up
is
again.
licking his chops because of the TJ Watt deal and all that.
Yeah. Imagine
Jerry Jones never ceases to amaze me with
He is
some
the
of the
best
shit
owner
that
in
comes out of his
sports.
mouth. I don't know how you look at your team and you decide to bash your 2 best players on that team
after last year
and say some of the things like to me. And I saw Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco, the podcast they do,
Nightcap,
to where they're like, who the hell wants to go play for that guy besides just playing for your money,
dude.
Like,
and that may be why Dallas has been so shit for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
They haven't been anywhere. And they are the longest tenured team to go without a division NFC conference championship appearance. I think the last one was 95. And that might be why, because you have guys in that building that are only there to get a paycheck. Like they'd love to win, but they're aware that their owner cares only about his pockets.
well,
and
and I know everyone wants to bring up like Jerry Jones and some of the pictures he was in and some of the old. It's just
that too.
It almost just feels like he's just running, like he doesn't care.
It's a
If you don't perform, if you don't do what you're told to do, then hey, I'm gonna kick you out of here, and I'm not gonna want you on my. Okay, cool, Jerry.
I love so much that he is like almost 90. He's the GM of his football team, and he takes media interviews, and he's the only one that he is sitting right next to Brian Schottenheimer and the new GM, his yes man, and they're just sitting there like lost puppies, and he's answering every question for them.
That's what I was gonna say. It's almost like everyone is it's like he's terrified of him.
It's so funny.
Like they sit up there and you
so
see the
funny.
reaction of like the other people, and they're just like they're just terrified.
Yes. Hopefully we can see, because obviously we can't see the clip that we just spliced in here of Jerry, but I hope you can see Schottenheimer and the GM like side-eyeing him.
They look like
"What
lost
the
little
fuck are
puppy
you
dogs
doing?"
of I can't say anything or else I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
And you know it's awesome though, because I truly think we will never see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl while Jerry Jones is still alive.
No.
Well, that's not saying
it's-
much. The dude's really old.
I know.
That'll
I'm
be a
just
couple
saying
years.
though, it's just hilarious.
People
to me.
like that tend to stick around a lot longer than
Yeah,
they should.
true.
It's hilarious. It never
is.
ceases to make me laugh, and
I
every
love it.
time I see it, I laugh because it's so much fun to make fun of America's team.
America's team, baby.
Okay, last thing.
They're
fourth and
America's
long.
team because everybody enjoys making fun of
Yeah.
them. And that is part of being American, is shitting on what you don't like.
No kidding. I don't know how they became America's team. So, okay, question about, I want to know whether you're punting on this or whether you're going for it, and how you feel about offensive coaches, OCs becoming head coaches, and some of these coaches who call their own plays. You know, it's quite a discussion when you start talking about like Mike McDaniel down in Miami,
Yeah.
right? He's basically calling plays. What about the OC though? Like, how does that work when the OC isn't really calling the plays? How do you think that works in the inner dynamics of a team?
I don't know how
Would
it
you want
works.
that or not?
I just think it's almost like you have advisors. Like you have people who can encourage you and give you suggestions and give you advice to what you should do, but ultimately that person has the final say, like a CEO or the boss.
What I would think they do is they go and so what Ben Johnson did when he was hired, and one, I think it's great to hire an offensive coordinator as a head coach when he has had a head coach, above him that is either a defensive guy or just a proven leader, because, inherently he's going to take some of those traits with him. But on top of that, what I noticed Ben Johnson do is he went to a different offensive system and poached one of their guys. He took, it was the quarterbacks or passing game coordinator for the Broncos, who was with Sean Payton in New Orleans and then followed him to Denver. He's 28, Declan Johnson, something like that, but from a different offensive system. And so I genuinely think that he brings those guys in to grow his playbook and get more ideas. He doesn't want to stay stagnant. He wants to, continue to evolve the playbook. I would hope that's the mindset for most people.
But ultimately,
he gets to say
he
what works
gets
and
to
what
say
doesn't.
what is going on that field.
In the
Yes,
heat of
but
the
it
battle,
opens
though.
up his options.
But during,
a lot.
like you guys know, even watching this last quarterback show, how many seconds they have to make these split second decisions.
Oh, yeah.
And so you've got the coach that's dealing with everything as the head coach.
Yep.
The OC really isn't the OC, but kind of is, like more of an advisor, like you said. And
Yeah.
so some of those, like some guys like Andy Reid are really good at it.
Yeah.
Guys like Mike McDaniel, people are like, whoa, a lot going on here. It hasn't worked out. Or look at the Falcons and where Kirk Cousins is like, we have 40 some odd different motions. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I just think, like you said, not everyone can do it. And the people the coaches who have been able to do it, like Ben Johnson, it's going to be that's a storyline that I'm going to be watching all year to see how he does handle everything else that comes with being a head coach, rather than just calling plays and worrying about one side of the ball, really.
Yeah.
And it shows why Andy Reid has been so good at it. I mean, you can go down the list of some of the guys who have been, very successful at it.
Yeah.
I would just say they almost act as advisors. They act as people who are there to give ideas, give new ideas, see something you might not be able to see.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Ben Johnson, Andy Reid, those Mike McDaniels, like you mentioned, they're calling the shots. At the
I
end.
would
Shanahan,
imagine that the offensive coordinator, I've heard Ben Johnson mention this as well, they're a much bigger presence during practice and during the week preparing for the game. Like, they are helping him every step of the way with the offense, because Ben Johnson has to have an entire game plan ready. He has to also communicate with Dennis Allen, our defensive coordinator. But yeah, the offensive coordinator handles, I would assume, the day-to-day stuff of practice when Ben Johnson cannot, and he's also, bringing new ideas to the table.
So in terms of a career then, what does that do for the offensive coordinator of, say, the Chiefs right now? Is he going to get
Matt
hired away to
Nagy?
go to another team?
No,
Or
because he's
because
Matt
is he
Nagy.
really like our team's looking at that going, well, he's not really the offensive.
If you picked a different team, Matt Nagy already had his shot, and it happened. He got hired as a head coach because he was the understudy to Andy Reid. That's why, I mean, Mike McDaniel, Shanahan. So it happens all the time, but it doesn't always work out.
I think you can look at it a lot of different ways. You can look at a team go, hey, they were in the Chiefs organization. If we're talking about Matt Nagy,
Eric Bieniemy.
They did a lot of winning. They did a lot of this. He's around Mahomes. He's around Andy Reid.
Yeah.
that stuff's gonna rub off.
He must.
He
be
must
the same.
kind of be. So you can look at it, or you can look at it and go, yeah, It's really just Andy Reid and Mahomes, though. Like you might be there giving suggestions, but at the end of the day, it's
those two.
It's those two. It's not you. So you can look at it at two different ways. But yeah, I would say if it was me and if it was my team, like my team, Mike Vrabel's not calling the offense.
Nope.
We have a real offense. The person,
Josh McDaniel.
and even I think that Vrabel has probably given the green light on McDaniels to, I'm sure Vrabel may give some, hey, we're going to go on 4th down no matter what this game or this drive, or on 3rd and long, don't run the ball. Like let's try to get it, or maybe get a pass interference to try to get a first, like little stuff like that I'm sure he's doing. But ultimately, I think that's the trust that you just have to give is I trust you, call your game. We've talked about it all week.
Yeah.
Do what you think is best.
Yeah.
Go.
4th and long. Nice job. Another good one.
Well done, sir.
Well done.
Well done.